is no rest. I repeat, no rest for the wicked. Yeah, well, it's just, hey, that's a great word that has slipped out of the nomenclature. The word is properly applied, and when it is properly applied, it's just a beautiful word, wicked. Wicked. I mean, I've always wanted to say the line that I once heard Edward Arnold say. You remember Edward Arnold, the actor? He was always talking like this. He was always saying, no newspaper man is going to marry a daughter of mine. And, it was Carol Lombard, and there was always a newspaper man named Blackie, played by Clark Gable. And so one night he said, I was watching an old movie, and here comes Edward Arnold, all dressed up in this. He always wore these black suits. He always looked like he had just come from a board meeting, with a stiff white shirt. Elegant actor. And he said the following line, "Amantha, you are a wicked woman." Oh, gee, that's a great phrase. I wish I could see. And he said it with an absolute straight face, and it fit. "Amantha, you are a wicked woman." And there's only one other actor I've ever seen use the word mendacity the way it should be used. I mean, that's a great word, too, mendacity. Who? Well, I'll give you a clue. He's still around. He doesn't do that much acting anymore, but he was in a Broadway play when he said it. Now, you have to be a devotee of the theatrical arts to have heard this one. He said, walking to the apron of the stage and looking out over the audience, he said, "Mendacity, boy. Mendacity, boy. That's what it's all about. Mendacity." Great phrase. I said, that redeemed the whole play, which up to that point had been a mess of pottage, which is another great phrase, a mess of pottage. Have you ever had any pottage recently? The term a mess of pottage, that's a nice dish, a little pottage. I never heard anybody. How long's it been since you've had a decent bowl of curds and whey? It's been some time. You can get it here in town if and you wash it down with a little mead maybe. And you have a nice rounded dinner. Maybe if you're really going to go out in that field, you're really going to have an elegant evening, you have nightingale's tongues. You know that this was a great medieval dish among the royalty of the time. Of course, the people of the day were eating cake. To use a great Dickensian phrase, "Let 'em eat cake." Well, why, I'm sorry if I'm bringing all these literate things here into your life. It just shouldn't be. Let's face it, mass media is basically designed to not bring anything into people's lives. It's designed really basically to provide a kind of oral popcorn. Now, when you go to a show and you eat the popcorn, you're not there for nutriments, are you? I mean, you're not going to sit there and say, this popcorn's just filled with vitamin B12. And not only that, it provides all the basic requirements of the average adult, daily requirements of niacin. No way. I mean, you just sit there and you stuff it in your trap. It's in the same general category with Fritos, various other trap stuffers. And so would you please give me a little romantic music, James, to salute? Yes. Tonight we'd like to take that opportunity to salute the popcorn in our lives, which rarely gets recognized for what it is. It can be oral, it can be visual, it can be political, it can be actual popcorn. But nevertheless, it's all popcorn, little salt, little butter on it, and you sit there and just stuff your trap with it. And you don't remember last week's popcorn, of course. And it's not designed to be remembered. Who remembers last week's newspapers? Who remembers last week's unforgettable movie? As Clive Barnes would put it, unforgettable experience in the cinema. It's hard to remember them. But that's also part of the popcorn world. Everything is described as unforgettable, stirring, thrilling, an epic of our time that speaks of the hopes and the fears of every man as he struggles through the 20th century vale of tears. And so we now salute popcorn in all of its forms. We sure need it. It's a romantic concept, popcorn, when you basically think about it. Thank you, Jim. That's very good. That's lovely. You're playing well today. You've got your guitar tuned. It's nice. La ta ti ti ti. What do you think? I don't think television is a wasteland. I do not. I think television is oral, mental, visual, and artistic popcorn. And it just goes on hour after hour, century after century, eon after eon. As we exchange myths and dreams as we walk towards oblivion. Some walk, some crawl, some run, some lope, some struggle against the wind to try to go the other way. But it gets us all in the end. As Stan Lomax said, and we must consider what the wages of sin are, friends. And we are all sinners. Oh, wow, you never thought you'd get this, did you? Tuning into this friendly, reliable station that spends most of its time interviewing ladies who've written a book on painting cats on velvet. And interviewing angry doctors that are talking about the pollution of rare forms of toothpaste, of which they've written a book on, and they're alerting the nation to the danger. Yes, that's called medical popcorn. Annette, don't think there isn't medical popcorn. A laboratory just announced that the findings produced by their extensive 24-year tests have proven conclusively that if owls are ingested with and injected with over 17,000 cubic centimeters of pulverized rubber, they will develop hypoglandia, which of course proves conclusively that there's another danger lurking out there in the dark. We're just like the natives of any given unlettered tribe in the far reaches of Peru. I know a little about those tribes firsthand. And they have a world that is totally peopled. It's overpopulated, in fact, with lurking dangers. Oh, yes. All in their mind. They're howling evil spirits. And once in a while, one topples over from old age, and they think that the howling evil spirit got him. One of the howling 3,942 known evil spirits. Yeah, I'm singing pretty well today, considering all in all, considering the fact that the wind is against us, and we forgot our tea here for the kickoff, but outside of that, we're singing pretty good. So bring that up, please, little Jim. Sweep them aside with beauty. And so tonight, this majestic avenue of human communication, this outlet of thoughts and dreams and myths, hopes and desires, chicanery, and the constant reiterated theme of merchandising. And by the way, that's a very romantic concept, too. Bring it up. Yes, that's called material popcorn. How many things do you have in your life that you have absolutely no use for, of any kind? But you had to have it when you got it. You know, that automatic bottle opener, that decorator-colored transistor solid state. Oh, well. Oh, well. Why go on? Why go on? And so this avenue of communication in the human field of endeavors takes this opportunity to salute popcorn, because we need popcorn. Oh, yes, it's one of the most necessary and incidentally one of the most human of all failings. The innate desire to somehow keep something moving. It's never been recorded that bears or squirrels or turtles sit around and eat Frito-Lays while contemplating their navel. No way. It remains for man to have a desire beyond... Do you know that the motion picture theaters of America earn far more money selling popcorn than they do tickets to the... That's true. There must be at least a 12,000% profit in popcorn. 12 million. And that's also the essence of popcorn of all kinds, of all types. Insensible profits. Profits that just don't stop. A romantic concept, too, to travel on the great Spanish Main, searching for buried treasure. Dee, dee, dee. Dee, 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 dee. That's kind of nice, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Well, that's what he was talking about, this composer, in fact. See, there's different kinds of popcorn, I might add, too. Different grades. Never thought of it that way either. I mean, there's the pompous popcorn. And then there's the simple, joyous, unfettered popcorn. That's the comic book version. But popcorn nevertheless. I wonder how a guy gets to the point where he wears a Brooks Brothers suit and he has a $14 shirt, a $34 tie, and he walks in and buys a copy of Superman comics and walks out with a serious look on his face. And then he reads it on the 812 back to New Haven. You like little Shakespeare here, don't you, this hour? That's not bad. My particular interest, of course, is in Iago. You know who he was, don't you, of course? Sneaky, oh, bad news. I mean, I have a feeling... Oh, yeah, well, Iago, see, was the thing about Iago was that he came up smelling like roses. See, that's the essence of true Iagoism. You lead the boss into trouble, and then you spill the beans on him, and then after that, you proclaim your innocence, and you wind up a hero. That's called Iagoism. Reminds you of John W. Dean, doesn't it? A classic Iago. He really is. You know, he's even got that little kind of hawk-faced look that all Iagos have. Have you ever, you got a wallet. You know, everybody's got a wallet. You know, nobody ever talks about wallets. It's a very private thing. You got a wallet, right? You got one, right? You too, Mark? Everybody, right? Now, a wallet is something that's your own little thing, you know. And when you first get it, it feels very alien to you. It doesn't feel like a real wallet, you know. You know, it's sort of lumpy, and it's stiff and all that. But gradually, the wallet begins to assume the shape of your bottom. And, the wallet, it begins to mold itself to your psyche. And ultimately, if you're a true walking around male type, your wallet gets fatter and fatter until it looks like you're carrying a small leather football in your pocket, or you got some kind of a tumor growing on your behind. You know what I'm saying? It gets fatter and fatter. And, and by the end of the year, see, so how long do you keep a wallet? I'm going to get the qualified here male poll here. How long do you keep your wallet? About 2 years, roughly? How about you, Mike? Yeah, I'd say about 2 years, roughly. And then at that point, every time you pull it out of your pocket, stuff falls out of it, right? And, stuff you never put in there. That's when you start worrying. And it gets fat. It starts growing its own stuff. Well, have you ever done this? Have you ever taken your wallet out, see, and you're going to change it to your new wallet, your stuff, and you start emptying the junk out, and you pull all the stuff out and all those little, and you see all this stuff. There are all kinds of little folded up pieces of paper and little scraps of envelopes, you wrote stuff, and then you begin to find phone numbers, and you can't figure out what the hell is this phone number, see? Yeah, and totally alien phone numbers. And it'll say, 649-7390, and you underlined it with a pencil about 9 times. What the hell was that, see? And underneath it says Bert. You said, Bert? What the hell? You figure it must be a girl or something, but it says Bert. Or Mr. Grubbage. So what the hell? Who is this? And have you ever... Well, you know what I did here one time? It was funny, if this is a curse that you have in your life, I want to warn you of one thing. Don't call any of those numbers. You could open up a can of peas that never stops. Now, this actually happened to me about 3 months ago, and I'm going to relate a horror story, which of the kind, you'll think I invented it, but I did not. It is a typical horror story of 20th century modern, faceless, anonymous life. So I got a new wallet, see. I figured, well, it's about the time has come to get a new wallet, see. And I had this wallet that had been given to me a couple of years prior to that. It was a genuine simulated Naugahyde ostrich skin wallet. It was really elegant, see. Simulated ostrich skin. Now, I don't know what real ostrich skin looks like, but this had kind of warts on it, so I suppose ostriches have warts. So I don't know, So I kind of like this wallet. See, it had a shoulder strap. If it got too big, you could wear it over your back, carried around town. So now your wallet does not get too big because of the money in it. No, that's the trouble. It's a kind of a walking around wastebasket that you got in your pocket, see. Stuff you don't exactly need, but you don't exactly want to throw away. That's what gets in the wallet. Cards, my God. I don't mean cards from people. Strange cards of organizations I didn't know I was ever in. I have my name typed on it. It says I was in it. For example, I have a card in my wallet that says I am a member of the Turtles. Yeah, it says qualified lifetime member. And I've got a membership number on it, 679. If there's any other Turtle members out there, I'm 679, gang. Now, I don't remember ever getting that card or even joining the crowd. I don't recall going to a meeting of the Turtles. And do they have meetings? I don't know. It's terrible if all of a sudden it turns out that I'm a lifelong member of a subversive organization. And I wind up in a can, you know. I said, we found the membership card right there. There it is. He's member number 679. He's on the rolls. He's a Turtle. Oh, jeez. No. You know, I'm serious. I'm a member of the Turtle. So, nevertheless, I take this wallet out there a couple of months ago. See, I figured it's time to put it in the new wallet, which I'd also received as a gift. And this wallet is a genuine simulated South American crocodile skin wallet. It's got the same warts on it. So, you know, I guess crocodiles are a lot like ostriches. I never see either one much, do you? No, what the hell, you know, I don't know about their skin. They got all that stuff on them. I mean, you know, all those feathers sticking out of the ostrich. So, nevertheless, I take the wallet out, see, and I couldn't believe it. I started emptying it out on the desk, and the pile got bigger and bigger. I could not believe that much could get in my wallet. It was a pile about, 8, 9, 10 inches high. It was about 1.5 feet around. And big, thick, and it started to expand, see, because a lot of this stuff had been in there 2 years and was compressed, see. It started to expand, and a big pile. So I says, oh, my God, I better change. I can't get it in my new wallet, all this stuff. So I started to look through the stuff, see, and I was pawing through it, and I come across this number. And it said, the number was, well, it's 6946SJ7GT. And underneath it, it said, Mr. Smedley, underlined. And it said, call, with an exclamation point after it. I said, what the hell? Geez, I don't recall calling him. Maybe I really booted it. You know, that guy was probably going to make a life story of my, you know, make a movie of my life story or something, and I didn't call him. What's the matter with me? So I picked up the phone, and I dialed the number. And the phone was, you know, it was actually there. See, and finally a voice came out. Well, Philip, an associate. I said, what was that? An associate. I couldn't get what the hell the company was. It went real quick. Something associate, see? So I said, I'm calling for Smedley. And she goes, 1 moment, please. I'm on hold, you know. This, incidentally, is a basic fact of human existence in New York. Many people spend as much as a month or 2, maybe 3 months out of a year on hold. You know, there are just two kinds of people in this town. There's the people who are put on hold, and then there's the people that put other people on hold. And I'd love to get into that crowd. You know, that's like becoming an officer, you know. You know? Now, 1 moment, Mr. Shepard, you're on hold. Pop, you know. And to leave them on hold, I love to leave guys on hold, you know. For example, the other day, I left my mother on hold for 3 hours. Just let her know what it's about, you know. And so finally, anyway, I'm sitting there on hold, saying, you know, Smedley, he sounds very important, you know, I'm on hold. And 5, 10 minutes go by, and the voice keeps coming in there saying, Mr. Smedley is busy. I said, okay. So more and more time goes by, and suddenly the phone pops again, and another voice comes on and says, who's calling, please? I said, this is Shepard. Tell Smedley, Mr. Smedley, that Mr. Shepard is calling. So? I said, Mr. Shepard is calling Mr. Smedley. 1 moment, please. Pop, I'm on hold again. She's telling Smedley, apparently. Well, there's a long, pregnant pause, and all of a sudden this voice comes on the line. He says, hey, Shepard, where the hell were you? I says, excuse me, is this Smedley? Where the hell you think it is? I said, well, Smedley. I says,
excuse me, I said, yeah, I wanted to know who he was, what the business was or something. And he goes right into this thing. You know, Louise was waiting. Louise waited for over a week, and you didn't show up. What the hell is this? I said, well, Smedley, I'm sorry, but, you know, I had trouble with the transmission in the car. He said, well, why do you call? Why do you say it? I said, well, Smedley, I tell you, I had trouble with the transmission in the car, and I was having valve trouble. And they took the car out of and they said I couldn't have it for a week and a half. He said, well, damn it, Shepard, I don't want none of this stuff. And he hangs up. Well, I sat there for a minute. I says, who the hell? What did I do? Who's Smedley? Who's Louise? Who did I let down? Where did I boot it? I sat there for a minute, you know, and there was a pile of other phone numbers. See, so I picked one up and I looked at it. You know, it's a 694-6C5L6GT. I says, underneath it, this one said Marie. And this one was underlined 7 times in red. Should I call it? My God, after my Smedley moment, you know, I better not go. So I said, well, you know, you never know, you know. So I dialed this number, see? This number. And, you know, it goes, instantly they pick it up, and they say, Gimbals. I said, what? She says, Gimbals. I said, Gimbals, I want to talk to Marie. She says, Marie? We have no Marie here. I said, oh, thank you. Who the hell gave me Gimbals' number and told me Marie lived there? I didn't call no other numbers. I've got a whole pile of them in my desk now. I've got them all piled. There's little pieces of envelope with numbers on them, cards with numbers written on the back. And you know what I'm thinking of doing? I got an idea. I'm thinking of hiring a guy. You know, going down to one of the unemployment places and saying, there's a guy here want a job? Any of you guys? Of course, some guys are going to raise their hand. I'll say, I got 2 hours of work for one of you guys. And I'll bring him back here, and I'll have him call on them numbers. And I'll audition him first. I want a guy with a real tough voice. You know, come out there. Don't give me your lip. You know, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to call it easy. And I just want you right now, please, right now, do it. This is one of Shepard's instant psychological, sociological tests. Take your wallet out of your pocket right now and look in it. Just look in the back, you know, way down to the bottom where stuff drifts down, where you got the bills and all that stuff, way in the back. And just look at some of those numbers. See if you can find one. I'll guarantee you practically every male who is in today's... He opens... Oh, he's got a letter, it is. Oh, well, that's self-explanatory, isn't it? Be careful. I mean, be careful. I know one guy one day who, in the very presence of his wife, took his wallet out of his pocket. It was a 2.5-year-old wallet, and it exploded right there. And, you know, it just fell apart, and a lot of stuff went under the kitchen sink and that, you know, and he thought he had it all. Well... She called a number, but I don't want to suggest that there's hanky-panky going on out there among you know, the people who listen to this show. Obviously, this is a superior group. It's a group who wouldn't be caught dead doing that. You know, bad stuff. You don't believe in bad stuff, do you, Mark? Now, I mean, any of you guys in there, how about you? No bad stuff? Nah, I didn't think so. And I don't think any of the people that are listening tonight would be guilty of any of that kind of stuff. Double dealing? No. No, listen, I know one guy up here at the station that goes into one of the offices here where they got 4 lines. He has been known to have 4 girls on 4 different lines, 3 of them on hold. But be careful of one thing, friends. One time I'm in the phone booth here on 42nd Street down at Liggett's there. I pick up the phone, see, and I dial this number, and I'm put on hold, and all of a sudden I hear these voices coming on. Yeah, have you ever heard faint conversations going on? Really faint in the background. Things like, well, I'm going to kill you, you rotten bum. And you're hearing this thing. What the hell am I listening to? See? Oh, yes, be careful. That hold button can be a bomb. Oh, yeah. Listen, did you ever call a guy up and it turns out he's recording your conversation? Did that ever happen to you? Well, knowingly it didn't. Well, it has happened to me. One time a guy, you know, I'm talking to a guy one day. Listen what happened. I'm telling you, I'm talking to a guy. I thought he was a friend of mine. See, I got him on the phone. And I'm saying, hello, Earl. And he says, yeah, how are you? And I said, how the hell are you? Where you been? He says, how the hell are you? And we're going back, you know, the usual thing. All of a sudden, there's a thing goes ping, and suddenly I hear another voice coming in on the line, and it's my voice saying the same thing over again. The damn thing rewound and says, hello, Earl, how are you? I said, wait a minute, I'm on the line again. Just a minute, Earl. And, well, you know, the whole thing fell apart. I hung up. I ain't called him since. My God. Listen, I know one guy that went out and bought himself one of these machines, you know, that takes the phone calls automatically, you know. It got to answering them. Not only that, it got to calling up people on its own. And, you know, you never control... Man, oh, I tell you, it was having an affair with another machine all the way across town. I got, oh, mess. Would you please, if you will, just a little more of that romantic music, please. Please, just sneak it in there. Yes. I thought you might need a little soothing at this point, friends. I mean, we have a thing called the nervousness quotient in modern life. It rises and falls like the waves. It rises and then hits a peak like the tides. It's called the nervousness quotient. And we're bringing you, for this one brief instant, 10 seconds of soothing music to kind of quell the nervousness there. Spill water, you know, spill oil on the water there. Very good, thank you. This is a public service. I mean, it's not good music, really, basically, but it kind of soothes your nerves, right? I mean, you know? I mean, it's Hadacol for the brain. That's it. You know what Hadacol was? Well, it's pretty good stuff. I knew a little lady, you know. Oh, that's enough. That's it. Hold it. That's enough. That's enough. We don't want to soothe them too much. I mean, you got to keep them on their toes. I mean, you get soothed and you're liable to be a sitting duck, man. One thing you don't want in the jungle is to relax. I mean, the worst thing that can happen to a lion, you know, he's tough, man. He's the king of the jungle, right? And he walks around, all of a sudden he says, you know, it's not a bad day. Oh, boy. I think I'll rest. I just, you know, everything's under control. And he lays out under that African plane tree and takes a nap. It is at that point that the hyenas start moving in. They never relax. And if a hyena relaxes, his friend next to him, his brother hyena, wakes him up. Says, don't rest, hyena. We're after the lions. And if you think you're a lion, buddy, be careful. The horn blows for you. That's beautiful. The horn blows at midnight. A spectacular movie. If you ever get a chance to see it, it's a great... Did you ever see it? Oh, yeah. The horn blows at midnight. And its sister great epic, George Washington Slept Here. You mean you never saw that one? Starring the same guy. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Don't you know who those movies starred? Ex-American Vice President Charles G. Dawes. Yes, magnificent, with his pipe and everything there. All right, here's a bit of trivia. What president, the only president that ever played football against the great Jim Thorpe, what president did that? What president played football, big-time football, by the way, intercollegiate, against Jim Thorpe? Yes? Was not President Ford. You are wrong. He ain't that old. What president played against Jim Thorpe? What vice president wrote a standard piece of music that was used for many years as the theme of one of the most popular radio programs in all of American entertainment history? A vice president of the United States wrote the music. What is this? Why am I the only smart one in the crowd? Why do I know these things? Incidentally, the same president, by the way, held the record for many years for the longest run from scrimmage of his particular institution of higher learning. And the record was only broken a couple of years ago, okay? He was a good ball player.
By recording from New York, you've been listening to Inside Gene Shepherd. Our next Shepherd program can be heard Wednesday, Christmas, at 7 o'clock.